Okay, in today's class we will discuss about field effect transistors. Last class we have introduced field effect transistor. We came to know what do we mean by field effect transistor. This is an voltage controlled device. That means the current through this device can be controlled by applying voltage at the input terminal. So, it is not like BJT, bipolar junction transistor is a current controlled device. Output current is controlled by the input current, whereas field effect transistor controls the output current by varying the input voltage. That is the difference. Okay, let us go through this material. So, which we start with an introduction. The junction field effect transistor, you can see this is a JFET, shortly we call this as a JFET. Let me see that that's enabled or not. Okay, all right. So, this is a JFET expansion. J stands for junction field effect transistor. It is a separate class under field effect transistor FET. Okay. FET is it has got family of devices. Under this family of devices, this junction field effect transistor is one device. Okay. So, there are variety of devices which comes under this the FETs. Right now what we are studying is JFET. Immediately after understanding the working principle characteristics of JFET, we will jump into another device called as MOSFET, 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 metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. There are few disadvantages with JFET that has been overcome in the MOSFET. So, currently state of the art device is used in a variety of applications is MOSFET. Okay. So, nearly 99.99% most of our electronic systems are made from MOSFET, okay, not the JFET. JFET is not used widely nowadays, because MOSFET is preferred for most of the applications. In the previous chapter we studied the fundamentals of bipolar junction transistor. We understood the various regions within the bipolar junction transistor, charge transport within the bipolar junction transistor, and how it leads to the terminal currents we have analyzed with reference to BJT. So, those principles what we have studied in with reference to BJT is applicable even for the field effect transistor. Majorly I can say this working principle of FET is almost similar, except a few changes, okay, which you see in the coming classes. The prerequisites for this junction field effect transistor and general field effect transistor is we need to have a knowledge of semiconductor materials. For those who are studying this, so they need to be aware of this semiconductor materials knowledge and even properties of semiconductors also. Properties such as doping, the variation due to the change in the temperature, all those things, the properties of semiconductors should be known. Next is the characteristics of the PN junction also plays an important role in understanding the field effect transistors. So, having the knowledge of this semiconductor materials and the properties and also the PN junction theory, you can easily understand field effect transistor. And one good thing about junction field effect transistor is it has got very good voltage gain and power gains also, that is required for most of the applications like amplifiers, the switching operations. We need to have a good voltage and as well as a good power gains also, that easily we can obtain through the device such as junction field effect transistor. There are two general categories under the JFET. The first one is PN junction JFET. This JFET is made from the P and N type semiconductor, therefore, it is called as a PN junction JFET. So, that is what we are told here. This is a PN junction JFET. It is fabricated with the PN junction. There is another device which you can make JFET is MESFET. Okay. So, metal semiconductor field effect transistor, this we call as a MESFET. Do not get confused with MOSFET, previously I introduced you. So, that is different from this MESFET. Okay. MES means it is a metal semiconductor, there is something called oxide is missing here. Okay. And this is not under the scope of our syllabus. So, we are not covering this MESFET, but only for the information sake I am going to say here. So, JFET is another way of JFET manufacturing is through the MESFET. So, this is fabricated with a special diode called as Schottky barrier rectifying junction. This is a diode, Schottky diode. It is popularly known as a Schottky diode. So, with the help of this, with the inclusion of this Schottky barrier, rectifying junction, we can make, the MESFET. MESFET is another class of device under JFET. Okay. We mainly focus in this chapter with PN junction JFET rather than MESFET. So, the current in a JFET, junction field effect transistor, is through a semiconductor region known as a channel. You will get to know later what do we mean by channel. Okay. So, channel in alternatively, we can think whenever we say channel in this chapter, you can think of like it is a path for the flow of charge carriers. Okay. So, charge carriers like electrons or holes, not both here, movement happens through the channel here. Channel is basically a region within the JFET. So, through that the electrons and hole movement will takes place here. Okay. Transport of charge carriers will takes place through the channel here. Now, let us see the basic transistor action. What do we mean by how exactly a transistor works? Either BJT or the FET, though we are right now focusing on the FET, the transistor action is like the modulation of the channel conductance by an electric field that is perpendicular to the channel. So, this is the way the transistor action takes. We are going to modulate the channel. What do we mean by modulation? This is a communication word. You might have come across different modulation schemes in communication in basic electronics preferably. So, the modulation is varying of one parameter with reference to another parameter. Okay. So, that is called as a modulation, but here with reference to the FET or JFET, the channel conductance is very important. Just now we mentioned about channel, it is a region in a JFET. So, this conductance of this channel, either you can think of as a resistance also, resistance and conductance, that they are reciprocal to each other. Okay. So, therefore, you need to understand this, the conversely. So, here we are focusing on the conductance. Okay. So, the channel conductance which is modulated, the modulation of the channel conductance happens through the electric field. We are going to apply a strong electric field. Through that, we are going to vary the conductance within the channel, and this electric field is applied perpendicular to the channel. Perpendicular means it is exactly vertically downwards. So, if you assume that this is going to be a channel in the JFET region. So, perpendicular to this channel, we are going to apply the electric field. By applying this electric field, we are going to control the conductance within this channel here. So, here the conductance or let me say resistance varies. Okay, you can increase or you can decrease by the amount of electric field what you apply. So, the more details of this you will see in the coming the classes. Okay. So, that is the basic principle of transistor action, the modulation of the channel conductance by an electric field perpendicular to the channel. So, this is the transistor action. Okay. This is how the FET works. Okay. Basic principle in the that FET works. The modulating electric field is induced in the space charge region. Okay. You know that just now I mentioned we are going to apply the electric field, and this electric field get induced into this space charge region of a reverse biased junction here. So, you will see where exactly the reverse biased PN junction comes into play here. This is a the just the to give a to understand these points I have written this diagram, but more details of this you will see later, where you will understand even where exactly this reverse biased PN junction comes into a play when we apply an electric field, and therefore, it is a function of the gate voltage. Okay. So, the reverse biased PN junction that is going to that gets created within this region, and that the electric field will modulate will vary that reverse bias of a PN junction, and therefore, it is a function of the gate voltage. Okay. The modulation of the channel conductance by the gate voltage modulates the channel current. So far, we told about the channel conductance here. I told that whenever we apply an electric field, the channel conductance is going to vary. At the same time, you should also look at what will happen to the channel current when the channel conductance is varied. So, definitely channel current is it can be varied. I can't say it is increased here. it can be varied, it can be increased or it can be decreased depending on the channel conductance. If the channel conductance is increased, then definitely channel current also gets increased. If conductance of the channel decreases, then the channel current also get decreased. So, that is how there is a one to one relation here. See, we are applying voltage that in turn establishes electric field within the channel, and the channel conductance varies here, it may increase or it may decrease, and depending upon the channel conductance, the channel current also will vary proportionately. Okay. So, this is very important in understanding the transistor. Voltage versus current characteristics and its relation with the geometrical properties of the device, we will discuss this later, because without understanding the without getting into this voltage versus current characteristics and its connection with the geometrical structure of the device, it becomes incomplete. So, we will focus this in the coming classes. There is a specialized device called as HEMT. This is a specialized JFET device. This is not again part of our syllabus, but here just for information sake I am telling you. So, this HEMT stands for High Electron Mobility Transistor. This is a specialized JFET structure which is rightly used, and in this specialized structure, JFET structure, this utilizes a junction called as hetero junction. This type of junction you haven't seen in diodes or PN junction. This is a junction which has a different type of semiconductor material. So, this kind of hetero junction is utilized in the fabrication of this JFET specialized JFET structure called as HEMT. Okay. And here electron movement will take easily in a channel which is parallel to this hetero junction here. Okay. So, we do not want to go more details of this HEMT, because this is the latest device and also it is not the part of our syllabus. Now, let us move to the JFET and MESFET. So, these are the devices which we are focusing right now, but not MESFET. We are not going to concentrate on this MESFET, but we focus mainly on the JFET here. One drawback of this both the devices is high gate leakage currents. Last class we explained here for the JFET or MOSFET gate current was supposed to be 0 ideally. So, if I say this IG gate current was supposed to be 0, okay. If a device is going to be perfect, if the insulation or silicon dioxide or insulation is perfect between the gate and source, you do not get any current. If there is any defect in the insulating material, then definitely there is a flow of current, gate current. Gate current is not 0, that causes leakage in the gate current here. So, leakage in the gate current will cause us some voltage drop within the gate region, which is unexpected of course, and this has to be overcome. The only solution is the another type of the FET. We need to look into that, and that FET is called as MOSFET, MOSFET. Now, you can see that there is an oxide layer between the metal layer and the semiconductor layer. Semiconductor means it may be the N type or it may be the P type. So, depending upon that we have an N channel MOSFET and P channel MOSFET. So, here you can see that the first three words gives you the structure of a device, which is namely the metal, the oxide. After metal there is an oxide layer, after oxide there is a semiconductor layer. So, these three layers tells you the structure of a device, and last three words tells you the working principle, how exactly this device works. It works on the field effect. Field effect means you are going to vary the voltage, that in turn controls the output current. So, that is how the transistor functions here. The drawback, you must be careful here. The one drawback what we have with reference to JFET is it has got high leakage current. You know that in homes, if tap gets leaked, what is the drawback you will have? Continuously if it gets leaked, you are going to lose a water, right, significant amount of water overnight if it leaks. Same thing is going to happen with reference to the JFET also. If continuously gate current gets leaked, small amount of gate current keeps flowing, especially typically which is in nano ampere. Okay, if this goes to a milliampere level, I am sure that there is significant voltage drop at the gate itself. This is a major disadvantage in the JFET. So, that can be overcome by perfect isolation between the gate and the semiconductor, which in our case in metal MOSFET, the top layer metal layer acts like a gate, and we are totally insulating by having here oxide layer. Oxide layer means it is silicon dioxide here. So, silicon dioxide is the best insulator among the available insulators. So, therefore, we use oxide layer between the two layers, which is metal layer and semiconductor layer here. This looks like a capacitor itself. You know the capacitor structure. It is a parallel plate capacitor. The parallel plate capacitor is something like we have a upper plate and lower plate. In our case, the upper plate, let us assume it is a metal, and lower plate you can think of like a semiconductor. In between that, in the MOSFET, we have an oxide, SiO2. The MOSFET is nothing but that it is a capacitor only. You see here the capacitance effect within the MOSFET. That means, if you understand the working principle of capacitor, you can also understand the working principle of MOSFET. So, MOSFET works on the principle of capacitance, nothing else. Okay, so if you apply voltage for one of the plate, oppositely you get other charges get induced, right. Suppose if you apply the positive charges to the upper plate, naturally the negative charges gets induced here. Okay. This is called induction. Okay. Due to the induction, so the negative charges get induced here, and there is a strong insulator between these two plates. So, all positive charges wants to go for move to the another plate, but there is a insulator, this holds the charge. We know that capacitor is used as an energy storage element. As long as this is not leaky, so the charges in the positive plate, upper plate remains constant, and negative plate also remains intact. So, the same logic is used here also. So, that is why in the JFET we do not have that kind of insulation, whereas in silicon dioxide it is a perfect insulator. Okay. Okay, let us move on to the MOSFET. MOSFET is a 3-terminal device, as you are seeing here, similar to JFET. We are not going to cover in detail right now, but we will in coming classes we will dedicate few classes to MOSFET. But right now to give an overview how exactly MOSFET looks, this diagram has been shown to you. In a MOSFET there is a gate terminal, there is a channel region, as you have seen. Within this movement of charge carrier takes place. If it is an N channel, so then electrons will keep moving in this channel, or if P channel means holes will be injected in this channel from one side to the other side here, and these charges are moving under the influence of this gate voltage, which is applied to the top layer called as a metal, and in between them this gate metal and there is a silicon dioxide layer. This is a empty space here. I will put I will shade it here. So, you can see this is going to be a silicon dioxide layer. So, in this silicon dioxide, since there is an insulation, the voltage applied here induces positive voltage applied here induces negative voltage, negative charges in the channel here. So, negative charges are in favor of electrons here. So, therefore, in N channel device, electrons are the majority charge carriers. If you want to have if it is an N channel, and you see that what happens if you apply negative voltage here. So, negative voltage when you apply here, the positive charges minority carriers gets induced here beneath of the silicon dioxide, and that reduces the conduction here. Okay. So, as I already told you, the channel is a region in which the conduction can be varied. So, here in this region the conduction can be increased or decreased here. That is one of the principle of operation of a transistor. So, by varying the applying different sort of gate voltage, the conduction can be increased or conduction can be decreased. In this case, if you apply positive voltage, so negative charges get induced and the conduction get enhanced, conduction keeps increasing here. Okay. So, that is it will if you apply voltage here between these two phases, the electrons are pushed from one side to the other side here. Okay. We will see that in later stage. The name here why it is called as a MOS is because of this reason. So, there is a gate which acts like a metal, and there is an insulator which acts like a oxide acts like an insulator, and there is a semiconductor here which behaves like a channel here for the movement of charge carriers. That is why the name is called as a MOS here. Okay. So, do you have any questions with reference to the introduction part of this uh, JFET? Before we step into basic PN JFET operation. Any questions are there? All right, if there are no questions, let us move on to the basic PN JFET operation. So, this is one of the way we can make PN junction based JFET. I will be using frequently the diagrams from the textbook, which you can see here. This is a diagram which I will be referring right now. So, this is a basic PN junction JFET operation. So, now let us see here now. The first type of field effect transistor is the PN junction based field effect transistor, a FET based on the PN junction. That was the most first initially used transistor, and this is called as the PN JFET. Okay, PN JFET here, and the simplified cross sectional view of symmetrical device is as shown in the figure. Don't worry about figure numbers here. Figure numbers are little different from the what you see in the textbook here. So, since it is a new edition, international edition, and that's figures are little changed, the one which I am referring to 9.2 here corresponds to 13.2 here. Okay. So, that is the difference here. Okay. Just remove this, so for you it will become easy for you to understand. Look at this diagram. This shows you the cross sectional view of a symmetrical device, symmetrical JFET, PN junction JFET here. Okay. So, PN junction JFET, as I told you, it is the first JFET manufactured using this PN junction concepts here. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, let us see that how this device works. Let us look at these points here. The PNG, you should look at the diagram referring to 13.2 in this figure, though it is 9.2 mentioned here. So, now currently it becomes 13.2 from the textbook here. So, it is a simplified cross section of a symmetrical device. Why we call symmetrical device? Look at this diagram and you can easily get to know why it is called symmetrical device. Because regions here you can see the upper P plus and bottom P plus, they are of equal doping here. Okay. And there is a channel in between that. Okay, that is why these two regions are symmetrical device. And you can also see there is a channel between, we are defining here totally 4 things here. One is a channel, what do we mean by channel, and second thing is I need to define what do we mean by source terminal of a JFET, and this is applicable even for MOSFET also. For all FETs these terminals are common, and we are going to define what do we mean by drain, then finally the gate here. Look at these definitions now. Channel, what do we mean by channel? The N region between the two P regions is known as the channel. Look at this diagram, the N region. So, this is the N region between the two P plus region here. There is a P plus upper region here, there is a P plus bottom region here. You can think of this as like a three-dimensional diagram also like this. If you extend little bit, you can just imagine, you can write 3D view of this diagram. Okay, this looks somewhat like this. Okay, this diagram is it is a cross sectional view, though it is given as a cross section, but you can even think of this as a 3D point of view also. So, this looks like this region. Okay. Okay, now you get some idea how exactly this 3D shape, 3D view looks for a N channel PN JFET. Okay, so now you can see there is a top P plus, this complete region is P plus. So, this is a P plus now, and the bottom there is a P plus, this region is also P plus, that is why it is called symmetrical. And these between these two P regions, P plus regions, there is an N region here, this is called as a channel. So, I would like to write here this is a channel, this channel, this region here, just Okay, so this is a channel what you see here. This is a channel. Yeah, so this is a channel. Okay, so complete N region starting from here, this complete N region is a channel. Okay, so that's what the definition says. Here the reason why it is called as a channel, and in this channel N channel device, majority carrier electrons flow between the source and drain terminals. Look at this diagram. There is an electron movement between the source terminal. This is a source terminal here. This one side of this uh, PN JFET is called as source terminal. The other side you can see there is a drain terminal here. So, there is a drain terminal here. So, from source to drain there is a movement of charge carriers electrons here, because this is an N channel here. So, that is why it is called N channel JFET here, okay, between the source and drain terminals. Now, let us define what is source terminal. The terminal from which carriers enter the channel from the external circuit. So, here you can see there is a power supply given here. This is a VDS power supply. Through this the power supply, the external charge carriers enter this terminal here. So, that means electrons will enter here. Okay. So, electron, that is why it is named as a source. Source means a terminal which sources with an electrons here. Okay. So, that is the source terminal here. From external circuit there is a movement of there is entry of charge carriers here. Okay. What about drain terminal? The terminal from which carriers leave or drained from the device. So, you can see here this is a drain terminal. So, here carriers leave or drain out from this the terminal here. So, that is why it is called as the drain terminal. So, electrons whichever it has entered through the source via the source, this channel they are going to get drained out, or they are going to exit from this drain terminal back to the positive terminal of power supply here, what you are seeing here. So, there are two power supplies as you can see here. One is drain source voltage. So, this voltage is applied between the drain terminal and the source terminal here, and there is another supply battery here, gate to source voltage. This battery is connected between the gate terminal here. These two gates are short circuited. You can see there is a wire going here from bottom gate to the top gate here. So, that means we treat this complete device with a single gate. Okay, so, now you can see there is a voltage applied between this gate terminal and the source terminal here. So, that means source is common for both the supply voltages here, right. That is what you are seeing here. This is common here for both VGS and as well as VDS here. And VGS is responsible for the control of this carriers or conduction, what we said within the channel here, that is using this. So, this will act like a control. Okay. Control in the sense the channel conductance here, this is labeled as a channel, that conductance within this channel can be varied. So, that means I can say here, instead of saying conductance, let me say the channel resistance also can be varied. Okay, it can be increased or it can be decreased depending upon the voltage what we apply at the gate and source. There is another voltage here, drain and source voltage. This is required for creating an electric field to attract this the charge carriers from source terminal to the drain terminal. So, this VDS creates an horizontal electric field, some electric field which is of this way, this direction. This is an electric field, horizontal electric field created by this VDS, and there is a vertical electric field created by this VGS. So, there is an electric field even this direction also, okay, or top direction like this also. So, due to the two voltages here VGS and VDS, there are two electric fields here. Okay. We already told about significance of this VGS. Through this vertical electric field, the channel conductance can be increased or decreased, and through this horizontal electric field we can attract we can sweep out electron from source terminal to the drain terminal. Okay. This is almost like a PN junction, right. Whenever there is an electric field at the drain end, if it is a strong electric field from drain to source, then definitely this can attract charge carriers, okay, from source terminal to drain terminal here. So, we defined what is drain. Now, let us define what is gate. The terminal which controls the charge carriers in the channel, that is called as a gate. The two gate terminals are tied together to form a single gate connections. So, we have shown that with the help of wire how we have connected two gates and we made single gate, and because the control becomes very easy if you make a single gate connection. In an n channel JFET, the majority carriers are electrons which are primarily involved in the conduction process. Henceforth, JFET is a majority carrier device or an unipolar device. It is not a unlike BJT, this is not a bipolar, this is a unipolar device. That means either electrons or holes, okay, so are responsible for the current movement. Okay. Electrons or holes. Okay. In n type the electrons, and in the p type the holes are responsible for the current flow. Okay. So, here in the n channel JFET, the majority carriers are electrons, as you are seeing in this diagram, electrons are moving. This is an n channel JFET. Okay. So, the majority carriers are electrons. So, they are primarily involved in the conduction process. Therefore, the this device is called as a majority carrier device, or it can be called as a unipolar device. A complementary p channel JFET also can be fabricated. So, though we have shown here the n channel JFET, you can make a p channel JFET also by interchanging or reversing this, the p plus layer into n plus, this p plus layer into n plus, and making channel of p type. So, this you can make it as a p channel JFET. Okay. So, that is very easy to make it. You can see here the diagram here, which shows both n channel JFET and the p channel JFET. So, these gate regions here p plus in the n channel JFET, and channel is of n type. So, based on the channel we are giving the name here, whether it is an n channel or p channel. In this case, it is an n channel which is separated out or between the two p channels, whereas here between two n plus channel there is a p channel here. P channel means there is a p type semiconductor here. So, this is called the p channel JFET, and this is n channel JFET, where two p plus layers are n channel is between the two p plus layers. In case of p channel, there is a p channel between the two n plus layer. And currents and voltages, what you see here, we have already told about the voltages, right. The voltages are like VGS and VDS, the current which is coming out here. Electrons are moving from source to drain, current will flow from drain to source. So, this let us label this current as ID here. You can see here this is an ID current here. So, here it is a positive for n channel, whereas it will be negative for the p channel here. So, everything will be negative for the p channel, okay, but n channel is positive. Figure 9.3a shows an n channel JFET. Now, let us look into the transistor operation here. In that specifically we are showing you figure 9.3a, which shows an n channel JFET with 0 volts applied to the gate. So, you can see here we have made gate to source voltage as 0, source voltage is tied with 0 volts, that means it is a grounded, this is a ground, okay. And there is a positive drain source voltage we applied between the drain and source, small positive voltage is applied, and that results in a the drain current between the source and drain terminals here. Look at this diagram here, that gives you more clarity on how exactly with reference to this figure. I am just calling this is figure 9.3a. So, let us call this figure 9.3a. Okay, look at this figure. With reference to that figure, I am just talking here. VGS is 0, Vs is 0, VDS is positive. You can see here the VGS is 0 volts applied between the gate and source. The source is grounded. You can see it is straight away connected to the ground terminal, and the both gate voltages are now 0. With reference to this, we are applying the voltage with the source. So, therefore, though we say here 0, it is with reference to the source only. So, gate source voltage is 0, source is tied to ground, and there is a positive drain source voltage. You can see there. Between this terminal and this, we are applying some positive drain source voltage. It is something like this. Though we have not showed here battery, so we apply a voltage here. This voltage is VDS, and here this VDS will be very small. We are not applying a large drain source voltage. Okay. Now, what happens within the channel region here? So, just observe within the channel. This is a channel region which you are seeing in the gray color area within this. Now, you can see that since it is the drain source voltage is applied here, gate source voltage is 0. Okay. You can see now there is a PN junctions here, right. There is a P plus, and this is a channel is of N type here. So, this entire gray is an N type here. So, there is a PN junction here. That blue color stuff what you see is the depletion region. This is a depletion region, or this can be called as space charge region. space charge region or depletion region, anything you can. Okay. Okay, and this is the region here. Now, what happens to the channel conductance or resistance with this condition? Okay, I want to know from your side what will happen to the resistance within the channel for this condition. The condition is VGS is 0, source is at ground, VDS is positive, small voltage, small positive voltage. Now, what will happen for this case? Do we get any, do we have any, does this channel resistance increases or decreases for this case? Any idea? And what will happen to my drain current here? Okay, just if you understood, you can answer this. Okay, for these conditions, I have already given all input conditions here. I want to know whether channel channel resistance or channel conductance, it increases or decreases. Okay, you can observe here that here there is a uniformity here in the depletion region. Okay, so due to the gate source voltage 0, the resistance within this channel, okay, so that remains almost constant. So this n channel n type semiconductor, it is nothing but it offers some resistance throughout the channel, and this resistance I called as R channel, that remains almost constant throughout the channel here. So since it is constant throughout the channel, so therefore what will happen now? So when we apply drain source voltage, small drain source voltage, now you can see this graph here with reference to the drain source voltage. As drain source voltage keeps increase, for small drain source voltage only we have shown here. The condition here is drain source voltage must be small. So let us assume that till this level we have applied a drain source voltage, a small drain source voltage here. So this is the VDS that we have applied. So since it is very small, for small drain source voltage, maybe 0 to say 3 volts, example. Within this this region 0 to 3 volts, the current is ID varies linearly. You can see it is a linear graph. Okay, so ID versus VDS, for VGS is equal to 0, small VDS is a linear curve. What do you mean by this linear curve? So that means within small region of operations you can get a linearity. That means voltage, as voltage increases, current also increases up to within the small region here. Okay, that is the meaning of linearity here. Okay, we will see what happens to this linearity when we go for larger VDS. Okay, we are analyzing step by step here. So let us not overlap too many things simultaneously. This is the first case you can see here, when the gate source voltage is 0, source voltage 0, small drain source voltage, the channel resistance remains constant throughout, and so you can see for a small VDS, as VDS is varied, current also increases. This follows like Ohm's law, as increase in voltage corresponds to the increase in the current. Okay, that is what it is illustrated here. You can see that the N channel is essentially the resistance. This is what I am telling. This N channel, it becomes any N channel or P channel, it does not matter, both are resistances only. So that becomes a resistance. So the ID versus VDS characteristics for a small drain source voltage is basically a resistance here. Okay, so approximately the curve, if you look at for ID versus VDS curve, that is going to be the linear curve here. Okay, you are seeing this is a linearity, ID versus VDS curve. Okay. So this linearity it exhibits for small value of it. This is what it is shown pictorially here. This is a gate voltage 0, we have maintained, source voltage is also 0, gate to source is 0, okay, 0 volts. Now channel is offering a resistance which is a constant, and now we have applied voltage between the drain and source. Here there is a voltage between the drain and source. This voltage is going to be very small. Okay, so this is VDS is small. For small VDS, the Ohm's law is applicable here. Okay, so that's why you see a graph as linear. All right, when we apply gate voltage to the PN JFET with reference to source and drain, the channel conductance get altered. That's what we want to summarize from this. When we apply gate voltage now, so now we said here when the gate voltage is made 0, the resistance is constant here. Okay, we look at our diagram. We told here the channel resistance is constant, but look at next figure here. When there is a sufficient voltage at the gate and source. When we say gate, its meaning is gate and source only. We can't apply voltage to one terminal here. So, it is implicit that when we say gate voltage, that means it is between gate and source and not between gate and drain. Okay, it is always VG voltage at gate means it is between gate and source only. Okay, now with sufficient gate voltage, let us take it as negative gate voltage. VGS is negative gate voltage. When we apply here, what will happen to the channel region? Okay, it's not like here what you are seeing here, right? The channel conductance now changes because of negative voltage what we applied. As we told that there is a PN junction between this P plus region and the channel N region. So, now what will happen to this PN junction? Suppose if I write here the PN junction here within this. Okay, so there is a PN junction here, P type and N type here, and there is a PN junction here at the bottom here you can see. So, what will happen to these PN junctions now? Okay, so they get the reverse bias, right, because you are connecting the one terminal gate source voltage to negative, and the source is at 0 volts. Now, you can see there is a depletion region which gets the space charge region that gets widened, you can see here. And now, what will happen to this channel resistance or conductance? That keeps changing. Channel, when you keep increase this the VGS voltage, that keeps changing. So, I can say that channel resistance can increase or it can decrease. Okay, decrease means small, we already seen for 0 voltage, and if you go more positive it decreases. But for negative voltage, you can see that the depletion region has been widened and it has occupied certain region of the channel. So, therefore, the resistance or channel resistance gets increased, and you can see because of that the slope has got decreased here. So, this is the first case what we have discussed. Okay, so, this is the first curve you can see here, same curve is we have carried even for second characteristics. So, same for small VDS here, but with negative gate source voltage VGS negative, you can see that slope has been decreased. So, here you can say that slope decreased, and what happened to the channel resistance or channel conductance? Channel conductance or channel increased. Okay, channel conductance decreased, resistance in the channel increased. So, due to that you see there is a drop in the slope decreases. So, that is what it is told here, the channel resistance keeps varying due to the VGS voltage positive or negative, but for VGS negative the channel region here, okay, you can see that you can think of like a PN junction, and there is negative at the gate and 0 at the source, and because of that you can see that the channel is occupied by the depletion region now. So, that increases the channel resistance, and due to that slope decreases. And what will happen to the ID versus VDS curve? You will see a bending graph as you have seen here. There is a slope reduction that is shown by a curve which is smaller than with less slope compared to the VGS is equal to 0. And look at the last graph here. Last graph is the case for with VGS more negative. We will see that here the reverse biased gate voltage. If you look at last figure here, the space charge region completely gets filled if you apply more negative voltage, and this condition is known as a pinch off. What is pinch off? Let us try to understand here. So, when gate to source voltage is further increased, you can see here. So, this is a gate source voltage which is minus V2. Okay. So, here we have started with VGS as 0 volts minus V1 minus V2. Okay. V2 is more negative than V1. Okay. So, therefore, more negative voltage you apply between the gate and source. You can see now depletion region has been widened, it has occupied entire channel, right. So, this is the depletion region. So, depletion region is now completely filled, and you see that there is no channel region, you are unable to see the channel here. Now, it has occupied by the depletion region now. Now, what will happen for this? So, for this condition you can see that the current almost a drain current becomes 0 for this. You can see the curve is exactly lying on the x axis here. Okay. So, this is for the case VGS is equal to minus V2. Okay, for VGS is equal to minus V2, more negative than minus V1. So, the drain current becomes 0 here. Okay. So, we have seen for different values of VGS. Okay. Further, if you make positive VGS, you may get curve something like this. Okay. But as you keep going negative for VGS, this is for say VGS is equal to 1 volt, and more positive you go, the current sharply it increases, right. But more negative if you go for VGS, gate source voltage, you can see curve slope starts decreasing. Okay. Here slope has become 0 and slope decreased for this minus V1. Okay. And as you move ahead, you can see the slope keep increasing, right. This is what the things we need to know about the p-n junction JFET, and particularly n channel JFET here. The conclusion here is, now we have seen here for only one particular case, in the sense we have seen only for gate voltage variation by fixed or small drain source voltage. Okay. Positive drain source voltage. In all these three cases, drain source voltage is positive. Okay, you can see here the positive, and it is very small of course, but gate source voltage in all the three cases, we have started with 0 and with negative and more negative, and we have seen the consequence. With 0 there is a constant resistance in the channel, and with increased negative voltage the resistance keeps increasing, and you can see there is a large resistance here. R channel is very large in this case. Okay. So, you can say this is R channel is very high. Okay, it is very high in this for this case, because completely channel is now occupied by the space charge region. Okay. So, this is what the graph which shows you that for this third case here, which includes even first two cases also. This is for case 1, and this is VGS is equal to 0. This is for case 1. So, this is for case 2, and lastly we have for case 3 is here. Okay. Okay. So, I think with that we will wrap up for today's class, and in next class what we would like to see is, as I told you, this all these three the working are based on the gate source voltage 0. In the next class we will see what happens when we have a gate source voltage, and when we vary the drain source voltage, what is going to happen. Let us see that. We will try to maintain some positive gate source voltage, and now we will vary drain source voltage. Okay, like this what you have done here. We will take up 3 cases even for drain source voltage. We will see for small drain source voltage, which is a curve will resemble same with same VGS 0, and if with VGS 0, if I go for VDS a large value and further large value, we will see what is going to happen. Again you will see in the next class with 3 more diagrams with VGS 0 and VDS is varied in 3 different ways. Okay, that we will take up in the next class. Okay, with that I will wind up today's class. Thank you all for watching my video.